Very good morning, my dear students. Today we discuss about the subject of energy technology. Unit 3 is a non-conventional energy. The last topic is ozone energy. Today we discuss about following the four topics. Ozone wave energy conversion, ozone thermal energy conversion, tidal energy conversion, and geothermal energy conversion. Ozone wave energy conversion is nothing but the wave power is capture of energy. The wind wave is to be converted to useful work for the electrical generation. A machine that explodes the wave power is a wave energy converter. It is generally we called WEC. The wave power is different from the tidal power because it is floating at top of the sea water. The tidal is not floating; it is to be placed and then inside of the sea water, which is capture the energy of the current caused by the gravitational pull of the sun and moon. Because the wave formation is based the inertia gravitational force between the sun and moon. That's why the power is belongs to the gravitational force. The basic principle of this type of ozone wave power generation. Look at the diagram with a dotted form. The wave is rises, the level of water is move up. That time the inside the air left out the box. This time the wind turbine rotate either forward and reverse direction. Both direction it is possible to generate the electrical power. Ozone wave energy conversion is a continue. The wave power generation is not widely developed in commercial technology as compared other renewable established renewable energy sources such as wind, hydro, solar power. Because it have the drawback and the implementation and maintenance cost is very high. It have high power density as compared to other renewable sources. Therefore, it is possible to increase sudden impact to damage the plant. The basic principle how to convert the floating with the help of cylindrical shape. A object is floating over the surface. The wave should be formed in the form of ripple. That time it should be the rotation of the floating object is a elliptical trajectory. Actually, the depth of water is increased. That is not elliptical. This should be formed pure circular. And that's why we can use such type of power plant deep side of the sea. There we can is possible to form a circular form. So wave energy is a wave power is produced up or down motion of the floating device is placed on the surface of the ocean. In other words, the wind is produced wave. Yes, the surface to generate the wind power. Then the waves is produce energy. That the waves travel across the ocean. High-tech device capture the natural movement of the ocean current and is should be converted to with the help of generated to the electrical power. It is a diametric representation. We hear the point observer and the line observer. Look at the point observer is also classified is a pin holding and then a heavy fixed concrete holding. Both point observer move up and down. Look at the diagram. There is a pump and a generator. With moving up and down, the pump and generator should be generate electrical power. and another says the line observer. It is a long, lengthy, look like a snake format. The hydraulic ram inside the between the that floating. The wave is formed. The ram move either forward and reverse direction. This time, automatically the electrical power generated. And then oscillating waveform, it is a very simplest. There is the external, the wave generation is placed nearest to the coastal area. There we have the turbine generator, and then a chamber wall is covering the close to the water. The motion of water should be increased and decreased. The water is increased, the air is went out the chamber column. That time the turbine rotate, generate the power. At the same time, the water is pulled down. Again, this water flow coming inside the chamber wall. That time also is turbine running. That time also is generate the power. It's another is a overtopping device. The wave flow, it is floating the surface. The wave flow coming over the ramp. There is a forming some small reservoir. That time the water impoundment go to the downside or outside of the turbine. That then the turbine running, so we can develop the electrical power. Actually, it is not a constantly produced electrical power. You see, it is time depending factor, and then the length and the height of the wave belong to the wind power. And then ocean thermal energy conversion. We are already discussed the ocean thermal energy conversion. The thermal conversion is based on the gradient between the cooler depth around 1000 meters. We need the depth of the cooler depth, and the warmer shallow is placed on the surface of the sea water to run the heat engine to produce the useful work and to develop the electrical energy. The ocean thermal energy conversion can operate with heavy capacity factor, so it can operate, but it can operate the base load mode. A system may be either closed or open loop. Closed loop was working, we can use some fluid that typically through the refrigerant. We can use ammonia and R135A. It is a closed loop ocean thermal energy conversion. Here we have the condenser and then evaporator. We are already know about what is the principle of condenser. Condenser, we can the heat reject refrigerant to the seawater. Evaporator, it should be accept the heat, top side of the heat side of the sea level. Cold seawater, we have the temperature around 5 degree. Warm side we have 26 degrees Celsius. Actually, the represent the boiling temperature minus 90 degrees Celsius. So it is possible to evaporate 0 degrees Celsius also. Here look at the turbine. Turbine, we are already many times we discussed about turbine should be converted heat energy into the mechanical energy. Suppose it is possible to ask what is the basic principle of turbine. The basic principle of turbine should be converted heat energy of the fluid into the mechanical energy, and then generated, it should be converted mechanical energy into the electrical energy. It has some advantages. It's a free and renewable energy. Yes, it's a free wave power device. Do not need huge land mass. We are placed in the sea. There is no land mass like a solar and wind energy. The device can there is no pollution. Yes. After removing the energy from the wave, water are left out the palace state. This means it not a polluted the environment. Look another form of disadvantage. Wave energy is converted must be capable of withstanding very severe peak stresses in storm. Suppose it is in the sea level, it is possible to form a storm. That time the wave floating device affected. So it should be strong to withstand that type of storm. and then finding a proper site for the extraction is highly essential. Of energy from wave is pretty tough because the wave energy is totally related to the ocean. That's why we are not able to easily find out. And then the devices needed to the harnessing of the wave energy is very complicated. Inside the device is operating is very complicated. Tidal energy conversion. Tidal energy or tidal power is a form of renewable energy is obtained to the alternating sea level. The kinetic energy from the natural rise and fall of tide is harnessed or developed, and it should be converted into the electrical energy. It is a diagram, the level upside, level downside. Intermediate we have the slowed guide, and the is open the level upside of sea water. It is a tidal basin to flow over the turbine to reach the ocean. That time the turbine rotate, it should be generate the electrical. And then another one is a tidal stream. The wind turbine is placed inside of the sea level. There is a three types: tripod, gravity, sunken pipe. Both is rotating to develop the electrical power. And the Titan lagoon is a ground level. There is a low side and then high side. The water flow between the low side to high side, that time turbine rotate, should be generate electrical power. And it is also environmental free. Suppose any type of renewable or non-renewable, it should be environmental free. And there is a highly predictable energy sources, high energy density, operational maintenance cost is low because it simply look like a dam, that's why it's a no operating cost. It's a inexhaustible source. Yes, it is a unlimited source. Another negative side as a disadvantage is a high tidal power plant construction cost. Negative influences of the marine life form. Yes, we can use this type of, it is possible to damage the life of the marine. Location limit, there are variable intensity of sea waves. It is another drawback. And then we go to geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is a heat derived within the subsurface of the earth. Water or steam carry out the type of geothermal energy to the earth's surface. It is a characteristics depending mainly on the which type of energy can be used for heating and cooling purposes to generate the clean electricity. It is a dry steam plant. We can use directly getting the steam from the bottom side. It should be converted electrical energy. It's a dry steam. It is a flash steam power plant. The